Welcome. Today we are going beyond the gate to talk about the movie Summer Wars, created by Mamoru Hosoda, known for working on Digimon, the original series. Let's begin. The movie begins by introducing us to Oz, an advanced online system where people interact using a personal avatar. The system is so advanced that it has been integrated in all areas of life around the world. We then see a news report about the Arashi asteroid probe that has left its solar orbit and is now orbiting around the Earth. Inside of Oz's admin building, we see the avatars of our main characters Kenji and Sakuma, followed by their appearance in real life. As Kenji complains about not getting into a math Olympics, Natsuki enters the room and offers them a job. During the opening credits, we see King Cosmo's avatar fighting in the arena. Back to the main story. Since the job is for one person, Kenji is the one who gets to go with Natsuki. She tells Kenji that her whole family is celebrating her great-grandmother's birthday, Saika, who's turning 90. Along the way, Kenji impresses Natsuki with his math abilities, and they run into Natsuki's aunts Noriko, Nana, and Yumi. When they arrive, Kenji accidentally says happy 90th birthday to Natsuki's grandmother instead of her great-grandmother. Suffice to say, it didn't go well. Natsuki brings Kenji to meet Saika and lies that Kenji is her boyfriend and fiance. Saika approves of Kenji marrying Natsuki. Outside, Natsuki explains that she promised to bring a boyfriend for Granny before she died. After begging him to go along with this, Kenji agrees to play along. We then see the rest of the family show up, including Mansuki, who brings lots of squid. The side plot begins with Ryohei and the Ude Warriors partaking in a baseball tournament, and during this scene they qualify to move on to the quarterfinals. After learning that Natsuki found someone, her second cousin Shota says he was too slow. Anyways, later on that night, the entire family has dinner together, and Natsuki introduces the family. So let's do that, including people who are not present at this table. Saika has 4 children, Mariko, Manusuke, Mansaku, and Manzu, according to one source. Mariko has 2 children, Rika and Richi. Mansuke has 3 children, Naomi, who's recently divorced, Tatsuki and his son Shota. We never meet his wife, so he's probably divorced too, and Biyomi and her son Kazuma. We don't know the name of the husband. Mansaku has 3 sons, Yorihiko, who's married to Noriko, with 2 children, Shingo and Mao, Konihiko, who's married to Nana and has a daughter named Kana, and Katsuhiko, who's married to Yumi, and they have 3 sons, Ryohei, Kyohei, and Yohei. Monzo, if that's the actual name of the person, had a daughter named Yukiko, who married Kazuo, and both of them had Natsuki as they are her parents. And finally we have Wabisuke, who's the half-great uncle of Natsuki, adopted by Saika. Did you get all that? After the meal, Natsuki takes a bath with the children, and we learn through a phone call that Kenji went because he beat Sakuma in rock, paper, scissors. On his way to the bathroom, Kenji runs into Cosmo playing on the computer. Kenji is then able to get to the bathroom, but when he gets there, Kana runs out of the bath and passes him. Natsuki leaves the bath to find her, but then runs into Kenji in a hilarious scene. After the bath, Wabisuke shows up to the house with everyone but Natsuki expressing anger towards him. Aunt Mariko explains to Nana that Wabisuke was adopted to the family because he's the illegitimate son of their great-grandpa. Natsuki fails to learn how to contact Wabisuke, and the two walk off together, leaving Kenji alone. Later that evening, Kenji is sent a long stream of numbers and asked to solve it, which he does during the entire night, then sends the answer to the person who contacted him. Shigeno and Yohei wake up Kenji and bring him to television because there's a broadcast discussing how someone hacked into Oz with Kenji's face as the prime suspect. Kenji unplugs the TV and then tries to log into Oz from his phone. When that fails, he asks Cosma to log into his computer. When that fails, he tries tech support, which also fails. Sakuma calls Kenji to tell him that there was an email sent out to the people to break into Oz 2056 security code, which Kenji confirms being the code he solved last night. Sakuma tells him that everyone who replied got their account stolen. Using a temporary account, Kenji confronts the user who stole his account and gets into a brawl. It's thanks to Cosma using the King Cosma avatar to save him. Yeah, that was a cool twist in the story. The user is then able to gather more accounts through assimilating them like he did to Kenji's, and because it amassed so much power, it actually defeated King Cosma. Sakuma tells Kenji that the user is an AI called Love Machine, made in Pittsburgh. It doesn't take long for the rest of the family to notice that Kenji's on TV, and they discover that his backstory is all wrong, but does resemble Wabisuke, who Natsuki had a crush on since kindergarten. Anyways, after thanking the family for their hospitality, Shota arrests Kenji and takes him away. Because the Love Machine hacked Oz's admin building, all the systems around the world are messed up, which causes a traffic jam. This interrupts the game as we see Ryohei hasn't given a base hit yet. After Yukiko talks to Mariko, we see Ryohei give the first hit of the game. All the family members are unable to come over yet because of the chaos caused by Love Machine. Eventually, Ryohei loads the bases. Natsuki's able to travel to Shota riding on Richi's motorcycle and tells him about the traffic jam, so they take Kenji back to Saika's estate. Saika has realized this fairy tale situation and calls everyone from different positions to work together and to not lose hope. Back on the phone, Sakuma tells Kenji that 55 other people also solved the code and actually Kenji missed a letter, so really it wasn't his fault. But he did get it right this time when he broke into the admin building of Oz. Once in, Kenji stops the current chaos. During the dinner, the family watches the TV to learn that the Yuta Warriors won despite Ryohei getting up 30 hits in that game. Everyone's enjoying the dinner, but this celebration is interrupted when Cosmo knows that the Love Machine has not been beaten and still has many accounts. His desire to defeat Love Machine are shut down by Wabisuke, who explains that he is the creator and it can't be beat. Wabisuke continues to say that the program was purchased by the US, who's testing it on Oz, which he notes it's working perfectly. Saika attacks Wabisuke after he explains that it's thanks to her that the Love Machine was made and they're going to make lots of money from it. Natsuki is shocked by this and heads to her room by herself, and when Kenji stops going after her, he sees someone signal to him, which happened to be Saika. He plays Hanafudo against her, and if she wins, he must take care of Natsuki. She also reveals during the game that even though Natsuki was lying, she still wants Kenji to take care of her. Oh, and she wins, by the way. During that night, Kenji's awakened by the dog barking. It turns out that Saika was in a critical condition, and despite the family's best efforts, she dies in front of them. If Oz hadn't been down, then Mansaku could have been notified that something was wrong with her, but he knows it could have just been her time. This angers Mansuke as he wants to attack Wabisuke for what happened. After the family mourns the loss, a debate breaks out between Mansuke and his sister Mariko on what to do. Kenji agrees with Mansuke that they need to defeat the Love Machine. After the women leave the room not agreeing, Kazuma asks Tatsuki for a supercomputer. We then see them plan out in the grass to use a similar strategy that their ancestors used to defeat stronger forces. Everyone heads out to get the equipment needed. Tatsuki brings a supercomputer, Mansuke brings a giant boat for power, and Richi brings a transmission antenna module. Kenji communicates with Yorihikyo, Konhikyo, and Katasukiyo about their plan to defeat Love Machine, while Yumi and Nana prepare the food as Naomi eats instead of helping. She's very useful. The team has set up the computer and are using ice to cool it down. Apparently this machine is a 200 teraflops with 100 GHz EHF connection, and then Cosmo declares a challenge to Love Machine. The Udia High School starts the championship game, in which it'll be the first time they might win something in 24 years, and Cosmo starts his battle against Love Machine. Cosmo is able to lure Love Machine into their trap, which is activated by the supercomputer. Then Yorihikyo, Kunhikyo, and Katasukiyo all work together to flood the water into the trap to kill the Love Machine. Meanwhile, Udia scores 3 runs in the 8th inning. The plan is going well until Shota, like an idiot, removes the ice from the computer, which causes it to overheat, allowing Love Machine to escape. And now the game is at the bottom of the 9th, with 2 outs remaining and Ryohei having problems closing it out. Love Machine escapes from that prison, now taking a large form with over 400 million counts stolen. Then Cosmo punches Shota in the face for his stupidity, which was so satisfying. When things can't get any worse, the clocks show a countdown, which is how long before Love Machine guides the space probe Arawashi to take out one of the 500 nuclear facilities around the world. Meanwhile, at the baseball game, Ryohei is exhausted after pitching 14 innings in the last game. Natsuki finds a letter that Grandma wrote in case she died. She then runs into the area where the boys are, and she gets there just in time to hear that according to Kichi, that if a nuclear facility is hit, it would spread radiation and cause massive damage, and the only way to win is to take back the account that controls the system. In desperation, Cosmo tries to attack the Love Machine only to be consumed like the other accounts. Despite how bad things look, Kenji assures them that just like math problems, they gotta solve this and there's a way to do it. Natsuki, inspired by Kenji's words, rushes out and figures out the password for Wabisuke's phone in order to contact him. She informs him that Saika had died because of Oz, and she told him that the password for the phone was her birthday, so he did care about her, and this convinces Wabisuke to come back and help them out. Back at the house, Mariko reads Saika's last words to the family. Wabisuke arrives later on, and everyone gets together to eat since it was Saika's last request. Wabisuke joins the family after paying respects to Saika. While Wabisuke works on shutting down Love Machine, the rest of the family challenges Love Machine to a game of Japanese Hanafudo, and wager accounts in an attempt to take them back from it. It's going well as Natsuki is able to steal back 300,000 accounts, but then gets distracted by the countdown timer and loses all but 74 accounts. Since they didn't have enough to bet, Natsuki starts panicking, thinking it's over. but then 150 million users offered their accounts to Natsuki to wager in the game. And then, to help her even more, one of the Oz Guardians gives Natsuki's avatar a rare item which gives her magical wings, not to mention a cool outfit. Natsuki wins the last game, where each point was worth 10 million accounts, destroying Love Machine, leaving it only with 2 accounts. The countdown meter momentarily stops during the celebration, but then continues because one of the 2 remaining users still had enough control over the space probe to send it over to Sayaka's estate. In a last-ditch effort, Kenji comes up with a plan to enter into Oz admin building to change the GPS coordinates so it'll miss the estate. Kenji is able to break into the admin building but gets locked out, so he tries again. And then after the second time, he gets locked out again. With no time left, instead of writing it down like he normally was doing, he solved the code in his head. Also at this time, Wabisuke finally weakened Love Machine, allowing Cosmo to finish it off. Kenji, despite a nosebleed, is able to calculate the code in his head, breaks in, changes the course, and the probe misses the estate, and everyone lives. Also, after 15 innings, the Warriors of Odia High School won the championship for the first time in 24 years. So the entire family wishes Sakae happy birthday, while the rest of the people present are here for the funeral, I think. And Ryohei returns home, only to learn that Sayaka died and is crying, but Yumi cheers him up, and honestly, this is one of the saddest parts of the story. Wabisuke turned himself in as the inventor of Love Machine, and the US government is now under suspicion since they used it. Both sides of the family try to make Natsuki and Kenji kiss, but since Kenji's nosebleed started again, Natsuki just kisses him on the cheek. He faints, everyone laughs, including Sayaka, and the film ends. Thanks for spending time with me today. Please subscribe for more content, and I will see you next time we go beyond the gate to explore another fantastic anime.